Arjun Vaidya, has been the founder of Dr. Vaidya's, a hugely successful Ayurvedic healthcare brand, which has since been acquired by the R.C. Sanjeev Goenka Group. Today, Arjun is a venture lead at Verlinvest, which invests in companies such as Sula, Epigamia, Veeba, and Heads Up for Sale. So now you've been on both sides of the table. You've been a founder, and now you're eventually at Verlinvest, which invests in brands such as Sula, Epigamia, Heads Up for Sales, Veeba, etc. So now you're in a good position to talk about what investors look for. So, firstly, what do VCs really look for in a pitch deck?
I'll tell you what I look for, right? I'm not just saying a pitch deck because you look for much more than just a pitch deck, right? You look for a real business. So at the early stage where I usually invest, it's 50% founder. Who is this person? Will they fight through tough times? And does he or she have a right to win in this space, right? So that's on founder. For me, 50% of the decision is based on founder. Second thing is something we addressed earlier, which is market size, right? So how big is this market? Is it a niche market? Is it a large market? What's the competition and how much of the market can this business look at? For me, that's 20%, because if you operating in a really small market that's not growing, then the business size will be limited, and you have to keep that in mind, right? So that's number two. And number three is obviously the business economics, right? So what's the sales, growth velocity, gross margin, structure, contribution margin, customer acquisition cost, repeat rates, EBITDA profile, path to profitability, and then obviously the team and the ability to scale, right? So be 50% founder, 20% market size, and 30% business team and economics.
Okay, so when you say 50% founder, that's a lot.
But that's at the early stage, right? Because these numbers will skew as you change your stages. For me, because I come in at the early stage, this is what I keep in mind.
Right. And how do you sort of gauge founders, tenacity, and those kind of softer skills? How do you get a sense of that?
Yeah, I guess you got to have multiple conversations and talk about things outside of work as well. It'll help you gauge a founder's personality, because at the end of the day, you're investing in a team and people. And so the team is as important as the business, at least when you come in an early stage.
Right. Could you give an example?
The business is nothing without the team, right? So
Absolutely. Maybe you could give an example of a chat you've had that really sealed the deal for you in terms of, yes, this is how I want to, take it forward with this person.
No, look, I think you gotta get to know a person outside of their business as well. So I think one of the investors that was meeting us actually said, look, we met in the office, we had a nice 2-hour chat. Let's meet over dinner now. Outside the work environment, outside the office. Let's talk about everything other than work, right? To see who you are as a person. Because look, it's not just one way, it's two ways as well. As a founder, if you take money from someone, it's a 5 to 7 year journey at minimum. You got to be able to have a conversation or lunch or dinner with the person once a month for 5 to 7 years. So it has to be a match in terms of personality. You got to gel. You got to be able to spend time together. Everything is not rosy in business, right? Everything isn't rosy. And so you got to be able to spend time with the person and reason through tough times as well.
Right. That's good perspective. It's like a commitment that you need to keep going for a fairly decent amount of time. So you might as well make sure that both parties are on the same page, right? So this leads me to my next question. How and where should founders approach VCs or private investors?
Yeah, look, I think this is a $1 million question. I would say that you can use various platforms, LinkedIn, email, meet people at events, reach out to people, meet people through your common connections. I think all of these things can help. But I will say that past this, right, establish context for a connection, right? So I think if someone reaches out to me and says, hey, I know XYZ things about you, and that's why I'm reaching out to you because I think this opportunity is interesting, it's much better than just a generalized forward email, right? So I think that really helps, and that really sort of makes it easier, because you would appreciate that investors also may get lots of deal flow and lots of inflow. And so they have to sift through a lot of information, right? So establishing context is something that definitely I recommend.
Right. And in terms of founders who are not based in, say, Bangalore, Mumbai, or Delhi, a lot of them often say that we don't have the same ecosystem that you guys do. What would be your advice to them in terms of reaching out to investors?
Uh, yeah, look, I'm actually very passionate about this space. Every time I get invited to a conference outside of the top 5 cities of India, I go, whether it's Indore or it's Chandigarh or it's Guwahati or it's Shillong. I've gone to all of these places and Surat and spoken at conferences and engaged with founders. Um, I think your location doesn't limit you from having a conversation. Your background doesn't limit you from having a conversation. It's much more a level playing field now. And so my sort of urge to all of these people is, look, India's a country with so much diversity, and everyone appreciates your diversity. So don't feel like just because you're not from Bombay or Delhi, it limits you from achieving success or building a scalable business. Not at all.
Okay. I'm sure this conversation has helped a lot of the founders that are tuning in.